Hi everyone, this is the second presentation of General Infra for Cimatron 15. In this presentation we will talk about data management, GUI, CAD infra, localization and environment. So let's start. In Cimatron V15 we added a new column for reconnect icons. Actually it was already on Cimatron 14 SPs, one of the SPs. So there is a new column. It's not belong to the name column, but in a new column all the reconnect icons below. We have a new browser. In this browser we use a breadcrumb GUI to represent the path. So for example, this is Cimatron 14, the path is a full path, and in version 15 we use breadcrumb to represent the path. Breadcrumb is the separation of the path shown in the address bar to a series of folders that can be clicked to go up the path folder or to open to see what inside each folder. So if you go now to Cimatron and we click our browser, so you can see that the path is built out of breadcrumb, series of folder, and you can click each one of them to go up the path or to see what's inside each folder. Okay, like this. We added a new option in the preferences to save part picture. Save part image when saving an assembly. So there's a checkbox, save individual part picture when part is saved in assembly. When checking this option, parts that are modified when we save the assembly, we will save a new image for those parts to see in Cimatron Explorer, Cimatron browser. The second checkbox, override user-defined picture. If it's not checked, then pictures that are manually created by using the Add Picture tool will not be overwritten. Next item is upgrade DI browser to Cimatron browser. In Cimatron V15 we replaces actually we didn't replace, there's a new option to read any file format using a Cimatron browser. Files can now be loaded and exported to all formats using the standard Cimatron E Explorer. So if we take a look at Cimatron, you see that the import and export icons do not longer exist in the opening dialog, opening screen. They still exist under the file menu, under import and under export. But now in Cimatron version 15, when using Cimatron Explorer, any file format, see right here, when I push and select, for example, a CATIA part or any other format, we get the expand icon. When I click the expand, then we see exactly the same option that we have in the import dialog. Okay, and we can select open, and this will read the CATIA. Also for step and DWG and any other format. Now, if we select more than one format, okay, then we no longer see the expand. In this case, the system will read the file, but it will use the default settings. For export, we use the Save As. For example, go to File, Save As, and now I can select any format I want to save this file. For example, let's save as a parasolid file. Okay, I can expand, check some of the options and select save, and in the file a new parasolid file is created. So we upgraded the DI browser and we can use it for import and export. Also, if you looked at the Cimatron browser in version 15, you can see that the browser was modified and improved. So we have a new look for the browser. We want to go back, we want to go forward, we want to go up, and we have some of the regular tools. We didn't remove any option, we just changed the look of the browser. Concurrency. What we did in concurrency in version 15, we actually deal with duplicate name. Let me explain first the scenario and you will understand better later on. So in version 14, when running concurrency project, it is quite likely that two users will create files with similar names. When user A checks such a file, the part on which user B is working is marked as a different version of the same file, although the files are not related in any way. What we did in version 15, now the system pays attention as to how and when the file was created. In this scenario, it will let the user know that the two files have the same name but different version of the same file name. User can now rename the file. So what user will see is a new red X, red circle with a white X actually, and it will say inconsistent. The file in the public repository was created by a different user or at a different date than the local file. Note, it is not another version of the same file. Same message in a different file. So user will know that they have two different files with the same name, and they will be able to rename the file. When they try to check out, they will get there is already a file on the public repository with the same name in the same folder. Note, the file was created by the user. In this message, it's my name, and it is not another version of the local file. It is recommended to rename the local file and reconnect it. So this is how we deal with a different file with the same name in concurrency in version v15. Cimatron version 15, Cimatron browsers now support DFS. DFS stands for Distributed File System. We support such servers. GUI. Let's continue and talk about GUI. There's a new toolbar for deformation correction. The tools requires for the warpage compensation functionality of mold correction. The toolbar is not turned on by default, so if users want to see it, they have to check it on. It contains commands related to importing, aligning, and fixing of deformation data. This toolbar is available in the part and assembly environment. Okay, so all the tools that are required for fixing the formation data, we align them into one guide bar. It's called the formation correction. And the formation correction, and we have all the required tools right here. Still, it is not turned on by default. Insert plus edit in conflict solver. Many times when we get a conflict solver, we have the option to insert or to cancel, and if we selected insert, then later on we had to edit the feature that fails. Now we added a new option to the conflict solver dialog. It's called insert and edit. This will insert in the failed feature and immediately go into edit mode. So it allows us to directly edit failed feature in regeneration. When pressing insert and edit, the active file, only in part of course, with the failure will become active and the failed feature will go to edit mode. This improvement actually fixed a wrong behavior we had in version 14. In version 14, when we selected by a box a component using the filter component, the result was that the entire assembly or subassembly was selected. We fixed this behavior, and now if I select by a box using the filter component, select one part, only this part, this component, will be selected. I want to load an assembly. Now I'll do it. I want to use the filter component. If you remember from the first session, just double click it. We'll uncheck all other options, all other filters, and select only filter component. And now if I drag a box around the part, only this part will be selected. A new improvement regarding localization, preferences file translated string are now separated as a new resource DLL. It's called Cimatron DLL. So all the preferences file strings are now in a new DLL. Multi-language license server. When installing our license server, we get to select one of 17 languages that we support, and once we select a language, the license server will be installed in this language. Note that if you later on, but if you want to change the language, then you have to uninstall the license server and reinstall it with the new required language. So we support 17 languages. This is the list. In the environment, we have some update to the license manager. The new license manager support more products. It supports Gibbs and GeoMagic. So one license server supports multiple products. Okay. We also, if you see, we change the look of the license manager. Thank you.